I have a gun. This is Captain William Thompson of the mining vessel Talia. After Victor murdered Flowers and Block, I ran out of the quarantine room. I thought he was trapped, so I headed to the bridge and tried to delete the barriers he put on the comms and thrusters. Victor got out, obviously. He showed up on the bridge, said he wanted to talk. I ran to my quarters where I kept Capper's late six. I had no plan, but I knew I needed protection. As kids, Victor and I knew we would join the Navy. Stealing food was not a stable occupation on the streets of Terra. On hungry nights, under a blanket in one alley or another, we'd tell ourselves, just a few more years, then we'd be among the stars. He often looked up and said he'd rather die up there than live down here. He was still on the bridge when I came back, working on the console. He was entirely lost by then. Kept going on about spies and agents and conspiracies. I tried to calm him down. He accused me of being an agent and knocked me down. He was ready to smash the wrench on my head. I pulled the trigger twice. Victor was a brother to me. He didn't deserve this. I found these recordings while looking through his belongings. Turns out he transmitted them to the Spectrum for public viewing while on the bridge. That's why I'm sending this message. People need to know the truth. Please, don't believe everything you heard in those vids. I opened the vault today. It took some time, but I managed to set up Miss Daisy in the cargo hold. Her drill shattered the damn vault. Guess what was inside? Fucking data chips from Crusader Industries. They were probably testing some experimental tech for safe long-term storage. I should tell them it doesn't stand up to industrial mining drills. There was no virus. There was no sound that made you crazy. Victor was disturbed. He was not the captain of this ship. I was. I am. He was just here as a miner and handled security. It was his first trip with us. His mind must have reverted back to memories of being a captain in the Navy. He commanded the Everest. Still had his wits back then. During the Battle of Vega II, the Viking took a hit to the engines and was swarmed. The Viking was a destroyer-class capital ship, larger than the Everest. Hundreds of lives were about to be extinguished. Victor broke formation and burned towards the Viking in defiance of Admiral Bishop's orders. He saved the other ship, but lost his own in the process. The captain of the Viking ordered an emergency sweep to rescue all survivors. They found him unconscious, out of air. A few minutes longer and he might have slept forever. The Admiral called it insubordination. We called him a hero. I was the captain of the Viking. Victor saved my life and the lives of the men and women on that ship. The Navy didn't care. They abandoned him. He was bitter. He didn't do well on the outside. Victor had all kinds of issues. PTSD, paranoia, multiple personality disorder. You know, the usual things that come after a missile explodes beside your head and you suffocate in a spacesuit. A year later, I left the Navy and settled in Terra. I visited him every chance I got. The paranoia mounted and mounted. He started listening to some conspiracy nut job and became convinced that the UEE planned the attack on Vega 2. It was heartbreaking to see. The final shot came when Victor's wife, Sarah, went missing. He devolved. I thought a trip with my mining crew would do him some good, get him to talk to people. I let him handle security, wanted him to have something to do. I thought I was helping. Instead, it did the opposite. He didn't connect with anyone except Patty. The loneliness of space made him worse. Victor started calling himself Captain. I told the crew to humor him. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. It's too late now. It's getting hot. Stanton Star is taking up most of the view now. It's pretty. I better end this soon so I have some time to transmit this recording. I sent out a call for help earlier, but no one can get here in time. Victor was crazy, but he wasn't stupid. He locked the ship on a trajectory into the center of the Stanton system. That's where the star is. Good backup plan. Had to make sure the last UEE agent died. I managed to regain access to everything except navigation. He was always a good programmer. Maybe we should have stayed in the cyber hacking unit. I diverted 90% power to cooling, disabled unnecessary systems. I didn't know the ship could be this silent. His body is lying there. At least he's at peace. You got your wish, Victor. You're among the stars. Forever. Space is a quiet bitch.